Hey, Skiba News Nation family. We have a very special guest. I'm honored to call my friend, Mr. Ali Musa. He's a comedian, been doing comedy for over 14 years, voted best comedian in Tucson, Arizona in 2020, moved to Austin, Texas in 2021. And you've been on Kill Tony, dude. That's pretty epic.
Yeah, like 6 times.
That is so cool, dude.
Yeah.
For people who may not know you, who are coming in slowly, can you describe, what you do and what your comedy style is like?
Been doing stand-up comedy since 2011. I started off actually as a rapper, and then we started our own podcast. And I do a lot of impressions and a lot of ranting, and people kept encouraging me to try stand-up. So I did, and did comedy in Arizona for over 10 years. Been living in Austin for over 4. Try to stay booked every single weekend. I go live on YouTube all the time, gaming, posting clips, and yeah, just out there in the social media world.
Man, and I have one of these on the front of my computer.
Nice.
You gave it to me.
Yeah.
And it was really cool how we met, because when I first met Leonardo Joni was when I met Eddie Bravo for the first time, and she opened for him, and I saw her and I was like, man, she's going to be huge one day.
Oh yeah.
And then when I was at her show, saw you, I was like, man, this dude's going to be huge someday. And so I had that same feeling, and it was like so epic.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So what are your thoughts about like the comedy world today? Like, is it very heavily censored, do you think?
I don't think it's as censored as people act like it is, because I mean, people can pour onto the internet after the fact, but usually in real time at the shows, rarely does shit get real out of hand where people like storm out of the room or complain to ownership or to the venue. I feel like that does happen, but it's very far few in between the way people make it out to be. And especially now with built-in fan bases, you're kind of there to perform for the people that are there for you anyway, or the style of comedy that you're going to portray. So I don't think it's as censored. That being said, like 10 to 15 years ago, you could probably get away with more because people were less connected and they couldn't just, complain as much after the fact. I used to be able to say crazier things on stage, and now I'm just like, I pick and choose my battles. Like, that's not the hill I'm going to die on with this particular audience. So I kind of try to, not be fake, but play to the audience a little bit more. Like Austin can be pretty liberal sometimes, so I don't go as hard in the paint sometimes. I'm like, I just don't want to piss off the crowd, so I'll just give them what they want.
Yeah, Dallas is more like laid back and chill.
Oh, yeah.
So like we do a convention every it's annual, called Truth or Con, and we would love to do comedy this year, and we would love to have you there.
Oh, I would love to do it. Yeah.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Great.
So can we watch a couple of your clips? Is that cool?
Absolutely.
So this first one's the gym bit, which is one of my favorites.
Oh, nice.
All right, give me a minute. It didn't.
You had a killer opening joke and a killer closing joke, and all the rest were hilarious.
Thank you.
I think that was what was perfect. Somebody's gonna take it of me like that and say that I'm in the Illuminati.
All right, here we go.
Trump's new strategy for Greenland, threatening some NATO allies with a 10% tariff. This as thousands gathered in Denmark to support the Arctic territory, waving flags and holding up signs reading "Hands off Greenland."
Ladies and gentlemen, we are
US lawmakers.
Sorry about that. That was the wrong video.
Wrong first clip.
What the heck here?
Do you want to start with the photo, Opa? Would that make it easier for you?
Yeah, we can pull that up real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
There you go.
That's not it either.
What the heck?
Wow, that was
it. That was when I was
in a hammock, just hanging out in the plane. It's awesome.
That's a baby in a.
That's a baby, and
in the overhead carry.
Yeah.
Area.
When I was little. My parents, when I was 1 month old, my mom and my sisters flew American Airlines from Hartford, Connecticut to Dallas, Texas. And we were on a plane just like this. And I was in one of those stupid carriers.
Wild.
Like, I could have died.
Yeah.
It's not even hooked onto anything. It's just like these little like pressure hooks. Like,
yeah, it looks like a hammock. Like, that's wild.
A single bump sends the baby across the aisle, and they're like,
any turbulence.
And you get what was that guy? The infomercial guy? The guy who the bag hit him on the head? Billy Mays. You get Billy Mays.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I got it.
God.
Okay, you want to pull it up, Papa?
Yeah, we got it. Here we go.
It happened at the gym where I walked in the bathroom and I noticed that somebody carved on the wall. It said, "I love cock." I don't think it's funny either. I thought it was inappropriate though. So I changed it from "I love cock" to "I love to cook." Went back the next day, you guys, I walked in the bathroom and it said, "I love to cook cock." I couldn't let him win, so I changed it to "I love to cook cookies." Went back the next day and there was just a big swastika with the N-word. They win, I guess. Shit, what?
Okay.
That was so funny. And you did that one live, and that one
traveling to Denver.
Yeah, I did do it. I did it in Fort Worth as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great, man.
Thank you.
OP, you want to pull up the second one?
Yep. Let me get to it there.
Yeah. That train ride.
I'm very happy to be here, though. I hope you guys like me, and if you don't, that's fine, because I just went viral on YouTube. I was real excited. It had like 2 million views in like 2 days, tens of thousands of likes, tens of thousands of comments, the whole deal. I'm feeling myself. I'm super excited. And then I read the comments, you guys. Don't read the comments. All it took was one to ruin my fucking life. Do you guys want to know what the top comment says that has so many likes, it's just permanently moved to the top? All it said was, "Doesn't he look like if Lord Farquaad fucked Danny Trejo?" Fuck you guys for laughing so hard. I had to comment back. I was like, "Fuck you for being so accurate."
So epic. It's funny. I love self-deprecating humor.
Yeah, I do too.
You have to you can't take yourself too seriously. And like sometimes I'll read a comment and I'm like they called me and Jake. What did they call us, Jake? It was Jay and Silent Bob or something, that we were gay, and we're both like married.
Oh my God.
We're the Jay and Silent Bob of conspiracy theories. It's a proud badge. We dispense truth like they dispensed weed.
Right. That's good.
All right, you want to pull up another one?
Here we go.
So there's a lot of controversy with the Minnesota Vikings right now because I don't know if you've heard about this. They have an openly gay male cheerleader. Have you seen this? And I'm talking like real gay, like Yes Queen, like Pride Parade, like the final boss in a gay video game gay. Like, I don't give a shit. It doesn't bother me at all, but some fans were so upset. They said they don't support the Vikings anymore. They're not going to watch the team. They're not going to watch the games. They're not even going to go to the games or anything. You don't have to like a gay cheerleader. But of all the things the NFL represents that would make you stop watching, I feel like a gay cheerleader would rank like 57th on the fucking list. Like, are they new here? The NFL already supports like LGBTQ, like advertising and a lot of woke commercials and all that. Like, this is nothing new. Think about it. The Taylor Swift loving NFL that promotes life-destroying alcoholism, degenerate gambling, CTE brain damage, a bunch of like processed junk food. You know what I mean? Like, the worst aspects of corporate greed, and then they rig the games on top of it to fuck you out of your money more and reward violent criminals with millions of dollars in mega contracts. But no, it's the fruity cheerleader where you're gonna draw a line in the sand. The only thing gayer than the cheerleader you're mad about is you canceling your season tickets because of it, you fucking faggots.
Great. Somebody shared a clip with me of that cheerleader, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yep. They went viral. They went like all over TikTok. Had people divided about it.
Man. All right, I think we have. We got two more. Okay, cool. But you want to play the next one? Feel free
the
to.
same homeless lady 3 times in the same night.
This one made me laugh.
At first, it was funny, but then the 3rd time she did it, it pissed me off because she started laughing at me. Like, we locked eyes, and she just started laughing like Beavis. She's like, yeah, got him again. So I got triggered so bad that there was a cop next to me, and I turned to him. I was like, excuse me, officer. You see that lady over there? She won't stop flashing me. And I swear to God, you guys, he just looked at me and goes, yeah, I know. That's Denise. And then he walked away. Like,
it's a true story, too.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's great. Was that in Austin? Because that
yeah.
I have family in Austin, and that is an Austin story.
100%. Yeah.
You see the craziest.
I have
things.
I have like 15 minutes alone on just homeless interactions that I do on and off while on stage because it's just so wild.
Let's have it.
Yeah, that level of homelessness is crazy when you're so well known that the police officer is just like, they're a regular.
Dude, I saw a homeless person in a standoff with the police with all their guns drawn and like 7 SUV cops. And then like 3 hours later, the homeless person ran in front of my car. They were just still out on the loose. Nothing happened because of that. I was like, what is happening right now?
You were on a standoff and they let you go. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Amazing.
Man. So you said you did rap, and
yeah.
So I think this last clip that you sent me is kind of a blend of both, right?
I sent you just like I made this rap song the other day.
Okay.
Yep.
I can't wait to hear it.
Cool. You realize that Jeremiah used to do rap, and I guess now he's doing comedy.
Nice. It goes both. Those two worlds collide all the time.
All right, here we go.
He's funnier than me, I will say.
Whoops. Uh-oh. It didn't go. Let's take it again.
And Jake does rap too.
Yeah.
And comedy.
Here we go.
Nice.
Here we go.
I should really be out doing DoorDash, but you know what? You only live once. Hi, Mom. Are you proud of me yet?
Cool.
No.
Whoa.
Fuck you, bitch.
Yo, it's Alibaba, back at it in 2026. Back to my roots, a boom back with a jungle kick. Decided to rap again just for the fuck of it. My shit's tight like a fat bitch rocking a bra that doesn't fit. No more laughter, none of that funny shit. Flow strong like Shane Gillis taking a drunken piss. It's getting dummy lit, and I'll punch you in your motherfucking face if you don't tell me where my money is. I'm like a hungry pit lashing out in a violent rage. I haven't conquered the game, but this is the final stage. I cause a climate change that makes your spinal break. 5 seconds is all of the time that it takes. We're in a viral haze, time's wasting. My mind's patient when you spit rhymes that's kinda basic. You're just another victim, and I'm Jason. Try to get away from me and I blast at you like an ice agent. We're in the times of Satan, it's a catastrophe. Spitting bars meaner than Muammar Gaddafi could speak. No one on planet Earth wants to battle me, cause I'm busting lines harder than Christian McCaffrey. Hey, yo, it's dummy lit, Alibaba 2026. Don't call it a comeback, I'm just here to vent. With a couple of rhymes, I got some bones to pick. When I got you in my sight, you better hope I miss. Dummy lit, Alibaba 2026. Don't call it a comeback, I'm just here to vent. With a couple of rhymes, I got some bones to pick. When I got you in my sight, you better hope I miss.
Dude, yeah. I love it. Sometimes you need, I feel like a lot of people get overly offended about profanity, and it's like, sometimes you need it to prove a point. Like you need it to really make a statement. And a lot of people, I know, like some people in our audience may feel the opposite that what I just said, but I don't know. I don't feel that way.
I think well-timed profanity too. If you cuss too much, it takes away some of the emphasis or power behind it.
Right.
Like when I do comedy, I try not to cuss a lot until I need to, and then it, pushes the message better.
Awesome, man.
All right, well, let me bring up the image real quick.
Oh yeah. So it was pretty epic. I got a picture with so there's me, my wife, you, and Leonardo Joni, and that was an epic photo. And I'm gonna have to get you to sign it, and then I'm gonna put it on my wall of fame.
For sure.
Because I have a wall of fame over here with all the people call them celebrities.
Nice.
Yeah, we love the shows.
That was a
great lineup.
The only problem with my end on the show is my voice was almost entirely gone, because like I do like a lot of impressions, and I even like yell a lot. Like I do act outs. I usually pull the mic down and I'll yell and I'll do certain stuff. I couldn't do any of that because like I was like able to only speak at a real low level, but it still was really fun though.
Yeah, you killed it, man. And what kind of impressions?
A lot. Like I do. The one that went real viral from Kill Tony is Ben Shapiro. I used to do.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'd love to hear that.
Here we are on Skiba News Nation on YouTube. You can follow us at Skiba News Nation.
I feel like he would mispronounce it too.
Skiba Nation is the #1 podcast on all of YouTube. And my name is Ben Shapiro. I'm bought and paid for by Zionists, but that's beyond the point.
Do not look at the yarmulke. Do not look at the yarmulke.
Yeah. Well done.
Epic, man. Well, Opa, do you want to open us up for some current news?
Yeah, I guess
the news it really is crazier than like you said in that song. Like it's crazy out there.
It is.
All right. Well, this first little news article is, well, actually the first few, but the first one's about Trump and Greenland. So let's take a listen. Yeah, let's take a listen to this.
Trump's new strategy for Greenland, threatening some NATO allies with a 10% tariff. This as thousands gathered in Denmark to support the Arctic territory, waving flags and holding up signs reading, "Hands off Greenland." And a group of U.S. lawmakers traveling to Denmark showing their support for the American ally. Here's ABC's senior White House correspondent, Selena Wang.
Tonight, President Trump issuing a new threat to our European allies who oppose a U.S. takeover of Greenland. Trump posting on Truth Social that 8 of our NATO allies, including Denmark, France, Germany, and the United Kingdom, will face 10% tariffs starting on February 1st. Adding that those tariffs will jump to 25% in June until a deal is reached for the complete and total purchase of Greenland. For weeks, Trump has been escalating his threats, saying the U.S. will have Greenland one way or another, refusing to rule out the use of military force. In response, those countries have sent small groups of military forces to the island nation, backing our NATO ally Denmark, which has long controlled Greenland.
Greenland's not for sale!
It comes as thousands march through the streets of Copenhagen today in protest, many waving Greenland's flag, holding signs that read, "Make America Smart Again" and "Hands Off."
I'm afraid that he will destroy the NATO alliance, so we're here to stand with the Greenlanders.
Trump is criticizing those countries for, quote, playing this very dangerous game and putting a level of risk in play that is not tenable or sustainable. This weekend, a bipartisan group of senators traveling in Denmark.
Do the officials in Denmark and Greenland take President Trump's threats seriously?
Very seriously. In fact, they're alarmed. Danish political leaders are preparing for the possibility that the United States, instead of being a close and trusted ally, might become an adversary, and they're gravely concerned.
And with President Trump insists that the U.S. needs Greenland for national security, citing Chinese and Russian activity. But many lawmakers and experts say there's no immediate threat, pointing out the U.S. already has the ability to increase their military presence on the island through a long-standing tready.
All the media
All right,
does.
Selena Wang for us tonight.
Selena Wang for us tonight.
Wow.
All right, comments.
Well, I think Trump's really good at playing his part. Like, I think he's really, I don't know. I think I want our president, whoever it is, to do well. And that's just the American in me. But I don't know. I feel like there's something that they're not telling us. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I like the Iceland flag, the Greenland flag.
Yeah.
Yo, what about their chant? It was like the haka, but for Greenland, and it was like,
"Yay!"
That was awesome.
Yoo-hoo.
No, those tariffs, though. You know, I think the tariffs would be a bit easier for the American populace to swallow if we were seeing some of those dividends. You know, checks on the monthly basis, and then everybody will be cool with it.
Yeah, but where's the $2,000 checks that he's been talking about?
Exactly. See, that's where the rioting in the streets is coming from, because he's been dangling a $2,000 carrot everybody, in front of everybody.
Which I know probably down the line makes the economy worse, but like, I'll take it. The COVID checks were lit. I love that time.
Yeah, but just $2,000?
Yeah,
Come on.
That's a lot of money.
I mean, for some people it is. I was doing Postmates and Uber Eats when the COVID checks dropped, and like straight up homeless people were getting like gourmet restaurant deliveries. Like I would be like at a sketchy alleyway, like this can't be the spot, and just some homeless guy would come out, and it's like, oh, you just got $200 worth of steaks. Checks out.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Okay, well, Trump not only was interested in Greenland, apparently he is still talking about Canada. So let's take a look at this.
Well, let me start with you on Greenland, these new threats by the president to impose these steep tariffs. I thought it was notable. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said, yes, the U.S. will remain a part of NATO. You have new reporting about President Trump eyeing more of the Arctic than he might be talking about publicly. What do you know?
Yeah, that's right. I also thought it was interesting that Secretary Bessent basically said there's no deal to be had to satisfy the president, that it's acquisition of Greenland or nothing, and that the Europeans will come around to that, and without saying why he thinks that. But yes, our reporting is that the president, while he's really focused on Greenland right now, privately, he's really intensified his focus on Canada. And he's complaining that Canada's northern border is vulnerable, and therefore that puts the U.S. as vulnerable. And he's not talking about buying Canada or taking Canada by force, but there are quiet discussions happening right now to try to get ahead of some big public blowup of this and come to an agreement that would basically ease the president's concerns. And Kristen, this is just part of a broader strategy by the president to reassert and expand American power in the Western Hemisphere.
Do you not think that's kind of fear-mongering, though? Like, they're just trying to rage bait, just get people so angry and upset. And, I don't know.
For sure.
Well, it's just certain parts of Canada that are diametrically opposed to being absorbed into United States of America, because just recently, Alberta has had thousands of people lining up to sign a petition to declare their independence from Canada.
Really? Wow.
That's pretty crazy.
This is right here.
No matter the country, there's going to be people on opposing sides of whatever issue. Is kind of what it is.
On and on.
The dude that exposed the Somalians, he was in Greenland, and there were a bunch of people wearing "Make America Great Again" hats.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really selective journalism, and I find it fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, another Trump thing is that he finally got a Nobel Peace Prize.
Beautiful Peace Prize.
Are you serious? This is something he's been wanting for, I think, like on to a year and a half now. It's all he could talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's see what we got here, huh? Whoop.
In the most Trumpy way possible, I hear.
Yeah.
He got it. It's just so Trump.
Tonight, just 24 hours after Venezuela's opposition leader Maria Corina Machado presented President Trump with her Nobel Peace Prize, he pressed the president on what he'll do.
It's a hand-me-down.
What are you trying to do with it, and why would you want someone else's Nobel Prize? You offered it to me. I thought it was very nice.
The president praising Machado after their Oval Office meeting.
I never met her before, and I was very, very impressed. She's this is a fine...
You got to admit, he's the
Machado
funniest
earlier explaining why she
hilarious.
offered her 18-karat gold medal to President Trump.
Because he deserves it for what he's doing to liberate Venezuela and for freedom in the Americas.
Despite Machado's gesture, the president for now
It's like a
standing
comedy
by
sketch.
his support for Venezuela's interim president, Delcy Rodriguez, a loyalist of authoritarian leader Nicolas Maduro, whom the U.S. captured and brought to New York to stand trial. The White House says Rodriguez has been, quote, extraordinarily cooperative, including releasing some political prisoners and proposing new access to oil reserves. Machado optimistic about a future election.
And I believe I will be elected.
She traded it for a Nobel Peace Prize.
Despite Machado's decision, the Nobel Institute saying again tonight that the prize itself remains, quote, inseparably linked to the person or organization designated as the laureate.
He's going to scratch it. He's going to put his name on it instead. He's going to get his name engraved.
Well, you know, Norway and the Nobel Committee, they're really pissed. They basically said, "Hey, this isn't allowed. This isn't right. That she should never have given her prize to him, and it's still her, and it's not him. And I think he just messed up, maybe getting his own Peace Prize.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Because I don't think they're going to ever give him a Peace Prize because he took this one. You know,
it's called the art of the deal. Maybe he has something playing chess mentally with people. You never know with Trump.
Yeah.
Wow. We're going to cover some symbolism in my segment coming up here shortly, and I think it's really interesting that he's been chasing this Nobel Peace Prize for well over a year and a half. Like I was saying, every moment you see an interview, he's like, "Well, I don't need the Nobel Prize, but I think I would definitely deserve one if anybody ever out there wanted to give me one." Yeah. And so the question is if you take somebody else's Nobel Peace Prize, what's the official rules on that? Do you actually does it transfer?
That's what the Nobel Committee was saying, that it's still her. It's not him.
You can't retroactively change it. It'd be like me if I won the Super Bowl and gave you my ring, it's like you didn't play or win the game. So you can have the physical thing, but it's not yours technically.
Right. Or like O.J. Simpson when he went back to jail because he was stealing all of his stuff back. What if she does that and she breaks into the White House and steals it back, and then he puts her in jail? It's pretty funny.
Or Trump is going to start collecting Nobel Peace Prizes like Infinity Stones on the gauntlet of Thanos, right? He's gonna just be like, "I'm gonna take yours. I'm gonna take your Nobel Peace Prize. I'm gonna give them away because you guys aren't giving me my own. I'm gonna have my own little stack, right?"
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Maybe he kept it for the value of the gold.
Maybe
he likes gold.
Yep.
All right, one more Trump thing. They've created this peace board, and he's the chairman of it. So let's take a listen to this.
President Trump has put a $1 billion price tag on membership for nations who wish to permanently join his new Board of Peace. Trump says he will serve as chairman of the board, and as such, he would control the money. Sources familiar with the board told Bloomberg that several nations have strongly opposed the draft.
So he just made his own, I mean.
Yeah, this was for between Israel and Palestine and everything else. They were going to create this peace board, and I think his son-in-law Kushner and I'm trying to remember who else has already been named to the board, and I think only one country besides the U.S. has been on it so far, and I think that's one of the UK Prime Minister, I believe. But anyway, they're supposedly creating this board to make sure that it's peaceful over in Israel and Palestine and Hamas and all this other stuff.
Well, I love Trump until he did the Israel thing, and I kind of, I just hope he does better. I really.
That's where I'm at too. Like I voted for Trump 3 times, and I'm at the point now where I'm just between the Epstein and the Israel stuff.
Right.
I just want America first. I love the dude. He's funny. He's funny as hell, and I agree with 80% of what he does. But those things are really hard to ignore.
Dude, that's the best way to word it, and that's exactly how I feel about it too. It's sad watching. It's dude, you don't sell out, please.
Right.
Okay, so now let's kind of get away from Trump, and
Opa doesn't like Trump.
Hold on, Opa. Can you say I ran away from Trump?
I'm not a Trump hater. I agree and disagree with a lot of stuff he does. Okay.
That's right.
Which is going to be true. That's going to be true for any president, But anyway. So this next one is, I think. Hello, Jake.
Is Tokyo Drift happening right now somewhere?
I think that's on my end, I think.
Okay. This next one is, last week we talked a little bit about Starlink and giving people in Iran access to the Starlink internet, since Iran shut down internet access in Iran. So let's take a listen to this.
Reports are coming in today that the Iranian regime is managing to jam US Starlink signals in the Muslim state. This is pretty hard to do. This, in effect, disables all the Starlink receivers that have been smuggled to the organizers of the protesters in Iran. If the report is accurate, it seems like the Iranian government is doing something more sophisticated than just your typical GPS jamming. Experts are saying that this could really complicate things for the organizers of the protests in Iran.
Did you hear how they said they were doing it?
Nope. And Musk is and his team is trying to figure out how to get around it. So I don't know. Apparently,
so they're flying up drones, like roaming flocks of drones, and they're using drone technology to, interfere with the Starlink. So I thought that was kind of interesting. They're getting drone shipments in from, who knows where, right? But
right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And speaking of satellites and Starlink, China wants to get in on the game. So let's take a listen to this.
Is heating up, and China is trying to take the lead. Just before the new year, a Chinese group filing applications to launch hundreds of thousands of satellites into space, sparking concerns the nation is trying to build a mega constellation. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris, joins us, and we know, Jeff, SpaceX has ambitious plans to launch more Starlink satellites, but China's proposal, it's nearly 4 times the size. Break down the details.
So right now, SpaceX has around 9,400 satellites in orbit, with a very ambitious goal to significantly expand that number. China wants to launch nearly 200,000, sparking concerns about a mega constellation and how it might pose a security threat. A Chinese group filed the official paperwork for 2 satellite constellations back in December, called CTC-1 and CTC-2. Each would have just over 96,000 satellites spread across 3,600 orbits. Chinese news outlets reporting similar to SpaceX in their Starshield satellites. These will also focus on security and defense. U.S. space experts saying we shouldn't be sleeping on China.
They have an aggressive plan to use space, not just as a demonstration of national power or for exploration, but to use the strategic landscape of space to the advantage of the Chinese country.
According to data from the U.S. Space Force, right now China has over 1,000 satellites in orbit, marking a significant increase from the 4 or 5 dozen back in 2010. Under international regulations, the first entity to file for a specific orbital slot does have the priority there, which is why these new filings by China are being viewed as a space grab to lock in those slots before they're occupied by other companies like SpaceX.
So pretty soon we won't even see the sun.
That's been a thing for a while, that they said they were going to block the sun. Like that Simpsons episode from like 30 years ago where Mr. Burns blocks the sun. There was like a literal plans for that, like in actuality.
Yeah, they're jacking up the night starry sky that for thousands of years mankind has looked up and saw the same stars. But pretty soon we're going to look up and it's going to be these like artificial constellations.
It's going to be all AI.
It's going to be a giant like Chinese smiley face blinking in the heavens, like bye. Like we're going to have space advertisement. Yeah. Yeah, it's so crazy. Back when I was younger, I saw Star Wars for the first time, and it's not clicked until now that at the very beginning it goes a long, long time ago, right? In a galaxy far, far away. Well, apparently this is the beginning of the Star Wars, right? This is
right.
this is where you know, the Space Force gets to be actually useful, and I mean, it's an exciting time to be alive. Like, really, it's
crazy when you watch sci-fi. Like, you watch a sci-fi movie from like 1977, and it's like in the dystopian future of 2021. It's like that was 4 years ago. Like, it's crazy. Like, we've surpassed it.
Yeah, Terminator. The date for Terminator is 2029. So, like, whenever that intro scene happens, man, coming quick.
It could be, could be. Okay, well, speaking of AI, I have been reporting, I guess, the last couple of weeks about Waymo and all of the problems that they're having in San Francisco and in Austin. And this particular report is about Austin. So let's take a listen to this.
Driving taxi company Waymo is being investigated by federal safety regulators over a persistent problem.
It involves school buses. Here's senior transportation correspondent Chris Van Cleve.
It's happened again and again in Austin, Texas. Police say it's happened at least 20 times since August. Self-driving Waymos caught on school bus cameras appearing to ignore the bus's flashing red lights and stop signs here as kids are crossing. The latest incident last week came after Waymo said it had installed a software update to address the issue.
It's not fixed. That's the short answer. It's not fixed.
This is video of that incident. The Waymo stopping, but only after it passed the front of the school bus. The company says it's working to understand what occurred and improve.
The programming did not recognize what a vehicle is supposed to do around a stopped school bus with students loading and unloading.
In a statement, Waymo's chief safety officer says while we are incredibly proud of our strong safety record, holding the highest safety standards means recognizing when our behavior should be better. The company says there's been no injuries in these incidents and its vehicles will remain on the roads, but it will file a voluntary safety recall this week as staff continue analyzing our vehicle's performance and making necessary fixes. So we're getting on the freeway. Last year, we rode with Waymo's engineers in Phoenix as they were preparing to launch its new freeway service.
So the bar is to make as few mistakes as possible and be safer than a human driver would be.
Waymo just drove around the school bus.
In October, federal regulators began an investigation after video surfaced of a similar school bus incident in Atlanta. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Phoenix.
Yep. Can't figure it out. And I also read somewhere where if a traffic light went out, and they put up four-way stops, the Waymo cars don't know what to do. They just sit there.
I'm surprised the homeless person hasn't tried to steal one, right?
There has to have been someone that has tried. I mean, it's weird at night in Austin because, like, when I was working this this bar gig, I would get off work at like 4 a.m, and sometimes it would be mostly Waymos on the road. It would just felt so like creepy, you know, just. I don't know. We don't have flying cars in the future, but we have driverless, which is almost weirder.
Yeah.
If you really think about it.
They're coming to Dallas. So
no.
The funniest thing I saw, I actually do it as a joke on stage. You know, like when homeless people go to wash your windows, I saw a homeless dude go up and start washing a Waymo's window and just froze when he saw no one was in the car. He was so confused. I was like, oh my God.
That's great.
Now that'll be real advanced when the Waymos can like dispense like change to street urchins. You know, they're like, well, it saves us and our customers time because the guy usually stands in front of the Waymo until we give him money. And so like it helps everybody out when the Waymo can just like shoot coins at people.
I can imagine in Atlanta that's the way it would be. All right, so my last little clip also kind of fits in with AI, and it's something from the UK. So it's a little short clip. Let's see what it says here.
Military just flew a helicopter with no one on board.
The Royal Navy just completed the first test flight of
we
its
got
first
Waymo
full-size
helicopters.
autonomous helicopter. It's called Proteus, and it's built to hunt submarines, patrol the seas, and take on dangerous missions without risking a crew. The drone uses advanced sensors and AI software to read its surroundings and make decisions on its own, all part of an $80 million program. The Navy says this tech could play a key role in defending Britain and its NATO allies as threats grow in the North Atlantic.
I wonder if it's
Proteus sounds like an erectile dysfunction medicine or something.
right. I wonder if it stops for school buses.
Right.
Well, that's all I got. So,
Jake, what do you got?
Right on. Well, let's start off with a very heady symbolism in the world video from Savanye, Eric Dubé, a notorious content creator who, he just put this video out, and I really appreciate it. So shout out Eric Dubé, and check this out, guys.
It's composed entirely.
Hold on. Yes. I watch everything in times 2, so I need to slow this down, way down.
I don't know how you do that, man. Your brain, I guess, makes it normal.
Esoteric meanings of these symbols are taught incrementally as secret society initiates climb the ranks, all the while displaying broad, benevolent, and usually false meanings to the uninitiated. Jordan Maxwell said, "Symbols are very important. If you don't think so, put a swastika on your arm, walk into a synagogue, and see the kind of response you get. Symbols elicit and bring out emotional responses in people. Even more importantly, symbols have their own spiritual presence. They tell you things." Michael Tessarian said, "Some of the techniques that they use in this psychic dictatorship are words, symbols, colors, rhythms, light, movement, and mudras, which mean hand positions, gestures, which have been used for eons as means of spiritualization, used by cults, infused with mysticism."
Okay, so quick pause. Yo, what's the most esoteric hand signal Jeremiah, or Ali? What's the most esoteric hand signal that you think you could pull out of your repertoire right now?
Probably the Illuminati eye.
I mean, is it
or the 666?
Pretty interesting.
Illuminati eye for sure.
how about the one that you have, Jeremiah?
There's one I can't remember right now that
my fan.
Your fan.
Yeah. Well,
why don't you let Jeremiah show that? Real quick.
No, I'll show him later.
Okay.
All right.
So in the Philippines, they do this symbol, which is the pogi. I'm a handsome dude, and growing up, man, I saw this so much. Like it was like, "Hey Joe, what's up?" And I was always curious about that, and I'm wondering the origins of the symbology there. But all right, I digress. We'll continue.
Are now being used on us for quite an opposite agenda, to drag us down into the pits of our own miasma, our own hells. Jack Benjamin said, "The use of symbols to convey meaning to the initiated and to conceal it from the uninitiated is as old as civilization. A clear understanding of the symbolic way of thinking is necessary if you are to unveil and comprehend the esoteric meaning of the symbols of ancient and modern times."
You'll get in trouble.
And David Icke wrote, "The Illuminati use what I call reverse symbolism. They place their symbols all around us, but present them with the reverse of their true meaning. For example, the dove symbolizes peace to most people, but to the Illuminati bloodlines, it represents their goddess, Queen Semiramis, Isis. The lighted torch means freedom and liberty to the population, but to the Illuminati, it is the very symbol of their agenda and control."
I loved that movie.
Did you know the Statue of Liberty was given to America by French Freemasons? There is another statue just like it in France, on an island in the Seine. The character propagated as Lady Liberty, supposedly derived from the Roman goddess Libertas, is simply a patriotic pseudonym for the public. Lady Liberty has been known throughout history as Isis of Egypt, Semiramis or Ishtar of Babylon, Athena of Greece, Astarte of Syria, Cybele of Rome, Ashtoreth of Israel, and Diana of Ephesus.
But today we call her Madonna. So.
Looks like
She
a
is the
dude to
pagan
me.
mother goddess of the Brotherhood, nearly always depicted dressed in robe, wearing a crown of thorns, and carrying the torch of illumination. She is symbolic of both the moon and dog star Sirius, which is why the English word for God is simply dog backwards. The dog days of summer was coined after Sirius and was believed to be an evil time. J. Brady, in Clavis Calendarium, says the dog days were known as a time when the seas boiled, wine turned sour, dogs grew mad, and all creatures became languid, causing to man burning fevers, hysterics, and frenzies. This hot time was associated with hot-headedness. This is why you're serious, S-I-R-I-U-S, when you're serious. This is also the occult origin of the all-American hot dog. July 4th.
Oh man. So I love semantics, and obviously as a comedian, you're constantly interplaying with the way that words work. But it's always curious to me to see how words are used to push different meanings and agendas kind of in the occult and stuff. And so a comedian and somebody who knows how to manipulate those words, you're basically like on the front lines of this eternal battle that is the English language, and you're using it to kind of, you use the same magic that the corporations use to convince people to buy their bag of chips and drink 100%. Their pop. It's pretty deep. We're not going to carry too far into the video there. He can keep going. He's got a lot of good info, but I was just kind of trying to demonstrate some of the interesting wordplay there, and how symbols really are important. But back covering one of the topics that Opa had brought up this evening, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney says he's aligned China against America and their ambitions to take over Greenland. So this is the PM of Canada, and check this out.
With President Xi about the situation in Greenland, about our sovereignty in the Arctic, about the sovereignty of the people of Greenland and the people of Denmark, and I found much alignment of views in that regard. Discussions with President Xi about the situation in Greenland, about our sovereignty in the Arctic, about the sovereignty of the people of Greenland and the people of Denmark, and I found much alignment of views in that regard. Discussion.
Okay, so there's this world play happening right now with this Greenland topic, and all the countries that are swarming in to saddle up with Denmark to push back against, I guess, the U.S. taking Greenland. And just last week we had some crazy weather. I don't know if you heard about it snowing in Hawaii, but
I did hear about that.
Oh man, it's just crazy to see all the claims against weather modification, which is, by the way, no longer a conspiracy. Yeah. But this week, especially in the coming week and a half, we're gonna see some pretty crazy weather in the States. Check this out.
It's got even crazier as a bizarre winter storm is about
That
to
guy, he looks like a weather guy.
which will dump
Yeah.
initially forecasted. In its wake, multiple Arctic blasts and a more widespread winter storm are possible later this week. What looked like a typical winter setup has turned into something far more impactful, with significant winter weather expanding into strange parts of the country. A winter storm is expected today from Florida to New England, and this storm will impact a majority of the East Coast. Multiple inches of snow are possible in spots that almost never see winter weather, making this a rare and high-impact storm for the Southeast. In New England, heavy snow could play a big role in the Texans versus Patriots game later today. On the other hand, in the Midwest,
Patriots won.
as much as 45 5 degrees below zero tonight, making frostbite possible within minutes. But what comes after this could be even bigger. Looking ahead to next weekend, a large winter storm is possible, with the potential to become one of the most widespread snow events of this winter so far. At the same time, a polar invasion made up of multiple Arctic blasts will surge south this week, priming the pattern for measurable impacts across a massive portion of the United States. So in today's forecast, I'm going to break down exactly what you need.
Okay, so I think it's interesting that the weather in places you wouldn't expect snow, is producing snow.
That happened here in Austin, like 4 years ago. We had this insane ice storm that like killed the power grid, and people were without electricity for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And there was like a blizzard. And then to even go more conspiratory, I don't know if you've heard of that hypothetical medical document from Johns Hopkins called SPARS 2020 to 2025, where it literally back in like 2017, it basically laid out everything that happened through COVID, including the blackouts in Texas. Like, it's the craziest thing I've ever read, because it was 3 years before COVID, but predicted things in politics, pop culture, and even weather. So me and my buddies were going like, is like the world scripted? Like, it's weird. It doesn't even make sense how they were able to predict certain things. Like, it wouldn't be like scientifically impossible for them to know that this storm was going to happen in these areas, you know?
Yeah, even just at the end of last year, we saw that record-breaking hurricane that destroyed Cuba. Like something like they've never. We don't have measurements big enough for hurricanes like this kind of stuff, and we're seeing all these strange weather patterns. It is interesting. I think documents like that. Whenever people realize that there's a lot more playing out in front of us that they were telling us 5, 10, 15 years ago. It
even predicted it used different like fake names, but it predicted Joe Biden not being able to run for re-election too. It said the president wouldn't be medically fit to rerun. It's bizarre. And like I said, 2017, this was produced by Johns Hopkins. I learned it on Alex Jones of all places.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we're seeing so many things happen just in the first few weeks of the year, right? And to me, it's really crazy. Just a short segment on what happened over in Iran. It's pretty serious, because what we're seeing is a place without a central bank, standing up, and then the paradigm of what people are saying about the regime changing scripts to be, against the Iranian regime because it doesn't fit the current narrative is really interesting, because over the years, people have been very supportive of Iran. It seems like it's like, why is that? So
what a crazy world, man.
Oh, yeah.
We turn to the latest on the turmoil in Iran. Here's Elizabeth Palmer.
When it turned off the internet, Iran's regime hoped to suppress pictures like these, but they leaked out anyway. Bullet-riddled bodies of protesters, more than 3,000 by some estimates, killed in a lethal crackdown by an apparently panicked regime. Sanam Vakil is an Iran analyst.
But I think that they were desperate and did
Wonder how
whatever
you get that title.
to exert control on the streets.
So this was all about not being pushed out of power.
Absolutely. Probably there was a calculation internally that if they didn't go from 0 to 100 and quickly, that these protests would become something severe.
The cost of living and years of anger over Iran's clerical rule sparked the protest. And at the outset, President Trump warned the U.S. might intervene.
I tell the Iranian leaders, you better not start shooting, because we'll start shooting too.
But a few days later, he backed off.
Iran canceled the hanging of over 800 people. They were going to hang over 800 people yesterday. And I greatly respect the fact that they canceled that.
Without U.S. support, the mass uprising collapsed. Tehran's streets were quiet. Our regime enforced business as usual. But this may turn out to be a breaking point.
Ticking bomb?
I think so. Iran has experienced a series of protests every few years, and each protest has become more powerful, more potent, more violent. So yes, this is a ticking time bomb, but the government still retains the monopoly of force, and it's not afraid to use it.
So what next?
I do think U.S. strikes are still very much on the table. Just because Donald Trump didn't keep his word and support the protesters last week doesn't mean there won't be some other reason to strike Iran. And I think that the regime knows that.
Iran's government has now cranked up its propaganda machine. The supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, called the protests an American conspiracy and blamed the unrest squarely on Israel and the CIA. At the end of a tragic 2 weeks, thousands of Iranians have lost everything. And the regime.
Okay, so pretty heavy, but it's really interesting how this is being balanced with protests in the West, where you're not having this nightmare headline, but in Iran you're having protests of the same generation of people stepping out. I saw like some rock bands, they were like playing on the street corner. I'm like, oh man, it's not going to go well for those guys,
right?
But yeah, they're really they're going through this kind of cultural turmoil because you have generations and generations of people that were, forced into kind of an oppressive way of life. And this is coexisting with social media and cell phones and them being able to look outside of their little window of the world and see everybody else doing it differently. And I think that's where you start to see, this clash of culture. But it was really interesting because there were so many kind of telltale signs that there was some kind of American intervention going to happen. And we were covering it this past Friday where they were turning off plane transponders for all domestic U.S. Military aircraft. There was all these things pointed towards, oh, the U.S. is doing something. And then that was all rolled back in recent days. So it was interesting to see in real time. All right. Well, last clip, and then we can have some fun with, please excuse Jeremiah's sense of humor. This was Dr. Ben Carson sharing how European food has been used to reverse his friend's diabetes while American food brought it back, allegedly.
I had a very good friend, had a very difficult case of diabetes, very difficult to manage. He went to Italy, and within 2 weeks, it was gone. He was staying at a villa. All the fresh foods were grown right there, the dairy products, no processing. Within 2 weeks, the diabetes was gone. He stayed for 3 months. He came back here. Within 2 weeks, it was back. And I don't think that's an exceptional case. So it tells us what we need to do. I'm praising God that we have the clarity and the leadership to get it done.
All right.
I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I don't think that's how that works. But you can measure if you have diabetes in 2 week intervals. I don't know. Maybe the first test was incorrect.
Yeah. It's interesting to see how, they're pushing the advancement of American health with Make America Healthy Again. And yet you're seeing kind of a blind spot, when it comes to, I don't know, chemtrails and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Jeremiah, let's hop over to something funny.
All right. Well, I always like to end with something funny because in this crazy world, it's always good to laugh a little bit. So as I always say, if you laugh at any of these jokes, please let us know in the comments what your favorite joke was or video was. And if you're offended by any of these, I'm sorry that you can't take a joke. So let's roll it up. Charlie and I give you. That's my cat, Charlie. We're gonna pitch it to Shark Tank.
Call it Hitler's biggest fan, and we are going to pitch it to Shark Tank. What do you guys think?
Let's just drop a little bit of sky right here above your eyebrow. Real easy, just let it float. Mountain coming in right on your forehead, give him a nice snowy cap.
It tickles, but it is beautiful.
Happy little mountains always.
You want to rape little kids? I want to break your jaw off and grab it with my hands and rip the mandible off your head. I want to bash your brains out. I want to bring you low. I'm your worst nightmare, and you know it. And I'm looking for people that have that same spirit to crush the enemy. I'm ready for whatever you do to me because I don't rape children. I don't hurt innocent people. I don't bomb civilians. I don't serve Satan.
He shot her because she was queer. He shot her because she was queer.
My life's in it.
You can see so clearly. I didn't think that it was like that before, but when you see the footage, he shot her because she was queer. And you voted for this!
What you're saying to me makes me want to fight you a little.
Break yourself, fool!
On this episode of Tweaker Geographic, scientists believe they've discovered a tweaker from outer space. After a crash landing in the concrete jungle, scientists believe this tweaker is on a mission in search for Methlantis. Experts admit they have no idea what this is, where it came from, or why it's still here. Further contact is discouraged.
Congratulations, you just won the grand prize!
Oh my!
Gay frogs!
They're fabulous!
Give it up for our glamorous grand prize models!
Never wear a sombrero.
In a goofy fashion!
Or clown shoes.
Or a hoop skirt!
And never!
Ever! Screech like a chimpanzee!
Hitler.
And when was the last time a
real funny,
directing
dude.
category had 5 women and 1 man? Now, yeah, I did not bother to look that up, but I think we all agree it was never. The Emmy goes to Philip Barantini.
and Joan Shingang, I'm going to pronounce right, Shanga
This was our president.
Kawawa.
I will have the chicken piccata and a side salad.
That sounds good. Chicken piccata, side salad.
Chicken
piccata, salad on the side, please.
I'll start with a side salad and chicken piccata.
Chicken piccata, side salad.
Side salad, chicken piccata on the side.
I'll start with the side salad, then the chicken piccata.
Steak, rare.
What in the Jewish mutant ninja turtle, dreidels in the half shell, Torah power is going on here? Look at your man emerging from the sewer. Get out of my way.
The enemy can speak to me, just
dude
death,
is
or
a demon,
that I should
right?
take my life when times of great loneliness. I just get really lonely.
With Jesus in the room? You get lonely?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
You're right.
Leave him alone, Satan, in the name of Jesus. My God, don't you touch him again. You shut your mouth.
And they are off. Thumb and forefinger flying. Look at the speed on Yossi Klein in lane 2. He's scooping, pinching, dropping into the cup like a metronome. Already more than half his tray is clear. Those payouts swinging with every move. Listen to that clink. Pure efficiency. 10 seconds. 11.
Sometimes the rituals might involve someone who recently died, and we'll bring him down there. And we're trying to do a ritual to bring back the Messiah.
Huh?
Which is a Schneerson.
Huh?
It's more like it's not something spoken about, okay? But you can understand, just like other religions or something.
Huh?
So that's my early version of Please Excuse My Sense of Humor, and
That was
I'll have
funny.
it fully completed by this upcoming episode. But Ollie, I just want to thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you for
and
having me. That was a blast.
Can you tell everybody where they can follow you, find you, and all that good stuff?
Yeah, you can find me here on YouTube at Ali Musa Comedy. Look me up on TikTok if you just type my name in, Ali Musa. I think it's Ali Musa 21 on TikTok, and then Instagram Ali_Musa. Yeah, that's pretty much where you can find me.
Awesome, man. Well, I can't wait to have you at TrutherCon, and when you come to Dallas, we should go to Kenneth Copeland's ministry because it's here in Dallas, and we should like mess with them. I think that'd be pretty fun.
Hell yeah. I'll have some comedy coming up in Dallas too. So
awesome, man. Yeah, text me. I'll definitely show up.
For sure.
We'll promote it. All right, man. All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming to our live stream, everybody.
Good talking, man.
Any last words, guys?
There's a symbol. There's a symbol.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You can't put your hands up. Okay. I'll do it just once, okay? You definitely couldn't do this in Austin. I can tell you that.
No.
All right, guys. We'll see you.